Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. I want to talk to you about the weather, what we are expecting to happen to us in our location, Central Alabama, and what we're going to do with dealing with the cooler weather. The Weather Service has predicted that we are going to experience a much cooler winter than normal. Before we do anything else, hit the like button and subscribe if you have not. Also, take a look at us on Patreon and take a look at it, and you will see a lot of behind the scenes stuff and a lot of good interesting videos that the regular peeps are not privy to. But now, prepping for winter, for cooler weather. Now here in Alabama, we do not have a whole lot of snow and ice, and when we do, it is chaos. But I want to start with the place you spend the most time, and that's in your home. What do you use to heat your home with? That's something you need to consider. Propane, heating oil, not a whole lot of that down here in Alabama. Natural gas, electricity, heat pumps, stuff like that. Firewood. Whatever it is, have your equipment checked, inspect it. If you consider yourself good at it, make sure that everything is running and working very well. I made notes. You'll see me looking down because I don't want to leave anything out, because this is actually kind of important. Check your furnace. If you use fuel oil, go ahead and lay in a supply of fuel oil. Have the propane company come out and top off your tanks. That way you will be assured of having heating fuel for the winter. If you're on natural gas, have the company come out, usually your utility company, have them come out and check it. Make sure. We had this done last year, and we just leave our pilot light lit for the natural gas all year long. It costs you about, I don't know, $15 a month, and for the little amount that you use. Why use it? Because you wouldn't want to spend that much money just wasting it. Well, condensation can build up and corrosion can build up inside the pipes. So if you keep the pilot light lit, you're going to have a lot less chances of corrosion and problems with the ignition and the orifice. So that's one reason we do that. Walking around the house. Sand, salt, kitty litter, think about those things. If you live in those horrible areas where snow accumulates, you might need a snow shovel. I hate to say it. I'd look at getting one before it starts to snow. If you have to have a snow blower, you should move. No, not really. If you have a snow blower, though, you should have it serviced. Have it checked to make sure everything is working, everything is nice and functional, and there are no problems with the snowblower itself. Now, I'm going to just scroll down and look at some of the stuff. Fire extinguishers. You're going to be heating your house, whether it's wood, oil, propane, natural gas, electricity. You really need to make sure that you have functioning, working fire extinguishers. We keep several throughout the house. We keep one where we use the dryer. We keep one close to the stove. We keep one in the living room, which is across from the stove. You don't want to put them right where everything is, really. And then we keep two downstairs adjacent to the heater, to the natural gas heater. And bear in mind, these fire extinguishers are not to put out the fires. Really, most people kind of think that. It's so you can make a safe egress out of the house. It's just the way it is. And while we're talking about a safe egress out of a burning building, make sure your insurance is current and up to date, and talk to your insurance agent. Get to know them on a first name basis. That will go a long way. Smoke detectors, CO2 detectors, those are going to be critical. I've talked about them several times. Doesn't hurt to go ahead and get those things tested again. Check them. Replace the batteries. It is a very small price to pay. Now, we are almost through inside the house except for, well, the chimney. If you're going to be burning with wood, have that chimney cleaned. Clean it yourself if you want to. You can go buy the pieces. The rods come in like 4 and 6 foot lengths from Lowe's and Home Depot. Comes with a big old brush on the end of it, and you just screw it on there, climb up, brush from the top, climb down, brush up. And it works pretty dang good. It works pretty good. I've done it myself. Wouldn't hurt to have it inspected. They'll drop a camera down there and tell you if you have any cracks from combustion or anything like that, or any kind of hinky creosote buildups. Would not hurt to have that checked if you can afford to do it. Probably going to be $100. Weigh that out and see about how that fits into your risk factors. Now, let's go to the pets. You've got critters in your house and around your house, dogs, cats. We have dogs, cats, chickens. Some people have livestock as well and everything. Make sure you have in an ample supply of feed as well as bedding for these guys, and a way to have them have fresh water. Bear in mind the water's going to freeze. So you really want to make sure, even for your dogs and cats, if they go outside to do their pee and the poop, make sure that you have a way for them to stay warm and safe and comfortable while they're outside playing and running around doing their crazy stuff. Hay, straw, wool blankets for your dogs, whatever it is that you like to do, cedar shavings, whatever it is you like to do, make sure you lay in a supply now, because with the supply lines being the way they are, it's really going to be critical for you to go ahead and set aside what you need now while the weather is. We're having 50-degree days. I'm out traveling doing some work in Tennessee, so we're having 50-degree days up here. This is an ideal time to go ahead and plan and prepare for this stuff. Now, bear in mind, not everybody's in the same location, so your planning and preparedness may be a whole lot different than mine, because like I said, I'm not going to live where it snows. So some of the stuff I don't have to worry about. If you are driving a vehicle and through the winter weather and you travel in it and depend on it, blanket, boots, gloves, jacket, that kind of stuff. Not wearing your dress shoes, or ladies, your high heel shoes to travel back and forth. If you break down or you are stranded, have a way to generate some sort of heat. Keep your car tanks full. Or as full as you can. I know it ain't cheap anymore, but whenever my tank goes down below a half a tank, I pull over and fill it up. It's just how we do. That way you will at least be guaranteed, as long as that thing will crank and run, you will have a heater. Check the antifreeze, check all your coolants, because in your vehicle that is something else that's going to be critical. Windshield wiper fluid, radiator fluid, go ahead and check all the fluids, brake, transmission, all the stuff. And don't forget about the battery. It might be a good idea, if your battery is 3 or 4 years old, go ahead and carry it into a service center, have them test it. If it is not holding a certain amount of amps, you can have them, fill it. Some batteries have water in them, believe it or not. There you go. Have them fill it, drive it, test it, and it might be time for a new battery. Batteries aren't cheap anymore. So that is actually an investment. A good battery with a lot of cold cranking amp reserves could be upwards of $300 if you have like a really big V8 vehicle or diesel, something like that. It's going to be kind of expensive, but it beats being stranded. Jumper cables, something to consider. Bag of kitty litter if you are traveling. That would be a really good way for you to get traction. Some people don't think of this, but you can also use floor mats. Because they have the little treads on them, you can jam them under your tires to get maybe a little bit of traction. They also have collapsible snow shovels for cars. I don't know how well they work. Honestly, I don't. Because, again, I wouldn't live in a place where that white crap comes down. But it is all up to your level of comfort. Now, one thing I want to mention will bounce back over to the house. Do you have a way to heat your house when your power goes out? Not if, when. When your power goes out, do you have a way to heat it? More to come. Okay guys, now we're back. You really need to consider having an alternative heating source for your house, for your home, whether you are there or not. That way your family can turn it on, use it, ignite it, however it is used to keep everybody warm and everything safe, and to keep everything from freezing up. Now, propane, natural gas, all of these things are options. Generators are an option. Do not ever start a generator inside your house. Do not start it in your basement. Do not start it in your garage. Do not start it adjacent to your house where there is a window or a stairway leading into a basement, because the gas and the fumes can travel down. You really got to be careful with this, guys. But if you have a generator and you're conscious of how you set it up and how you use it, you can, propane, gasoline, natural gas, however it is you want to use it, that will go a really long way of providing light and heat to your family. If you have to, you can close off your house and situate everyone in one room and heat that one room. Honest to goodness, unless you had a really good supply of firewood, I probably would cover up a fireplace if I did not have any firewood, because a lot of fireplaces are really inefficient and the heat just goes in and up. They're not like Franklin stoves or wood burning stoves or anything like that. They're very inefficient, and at most they heat that one room. If you have a lot of firewood, not a bad idea. Sometimes in colder weather, people in Texas experienced this last year, you'll pop a tent in that one room, put a couple of lanterns in that tent, throw a blanket or two over it, making sure you vent everything correctly and safely, and you're quasi-comfortable. A lot of things to consider, and it is all based off of your ability, your aptitude, and your level of comfort, what you're willing to do. I remember reading about some people breaking up pieces of furniture and burning them in their fireplaces. You could do that, and that would get you by for about 45 minutes to an hour or something like that. If you have a fireplace and you need to burn 3 cords of wood, let's just draw that number out of the air. Have 5 cords of wood. That's just what you need to do. Don't forget that in cold weather you will also be prone to dehydration. I know it sounds funny. You will dehydrate pretty dang quickly in cold weather, just like in warm weather. So bear that in mind. Avoid sweating. Sweating will kill you. Cotton kills in winter. Make sure you have good synthetic fabrics to wick away moisture and to help keep it off. A lot of different things. This will get you started. We haven't even touched on food or anything like that, but hopefully you have enough sense in your head to keep food in your house. I hope you and your family stay safe. One more thing I will add, if you have children in your house, go ahead and buy Christmas for them now. This is September. Christmas is in December, obviously. Go ahead and buy whatever it is they want, if you can afford it, because odds are it will not be there, or there will be a delay in the supply chain. I can talk about this ad nauseum, guys, and perhaps I should, but I try not to talk a whole lot about the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, the clickbait crap. I guess if I did, I'd get a lot more hits, but I hope you guys take care of yourself. I hope you guys take care of your people. You guys be safe.